biggest stories in the media after Trump was elected president was Trump's supposed collusion with Russia. We heard about it ad nauseum. Let's take a look back.
Russia's assault on our democracy and interference in our elections.
Donald Trump and his campaign concerning Russia.
The FBI used a dossier of allegations of Russian ties to Donald Trump's campaign as part of the justification to get approval to secretly monitor Trump associate Carter Page.
There was a whole vault full of dirt on Donald J. Trump.
Donald Trump didn't seem to care much about Russian election meddling, but cared a lot about Russian prostitutes.
And the broader problem of Russia continuing to interfere in our elections.
The New York Times and the Washington Post even won Pulitzer Prizes for their reporting on this. But special counsel John Durham's report finally reveals the truth. There was no collusion, and the FBI should have never initiated the probe into Trump's campaign because there was a lack of evidence. Yet they went ahead with it anyway, resulting in a biased investigation that the media ran with. The report also revealed that the same government institution looked away when it came to Hillary Clinton, dismissing signs that showed this probe was the Clinton campaign going after Trump. Judicial Watch Director of Investigations and Research, Chris Farrell, joins me now. Chris, good to have you. So key findings in Durham's report were already disclosed thanks to Judicial Watch's Freedom of Information Act investigations and litigation. So you knew the truth. Durham's report further exposed the truth. What does this say about our federal government?
The most frustrating part is that after 7 years of character assassination and criminality and untold defamation by various news outlets, the net result is no substantive prosecutions. You have to remember that Durham details a meeting in the White House, both in August of 2016 and later in January of 2017, where all the Obama administration principal officials, President Obama, now President Biden, then Vice President, Comey, Brennan, the whole cast of characters sat around knowingly discussing how Hillary Clinton launched this entire charade on July 26, 2016, and deliberately set in motion a criminal campaign to unlawfully affect the outcome of the presidential election. And then they carried that forward as a soft coup against President Trump through his transition and into his presidency. And this was a nonstop, 24/7, wall-to-wall effort to attack the presidency and to attack President Trump personally. And the lives that have been ruined by this, the smear campaigns, the American public is supposed to now swallow this 306-page report and just say, oh, well, too bad. There's got to be real accountability. Judicial Watch will pursue accountability. I hope President Trump considers some civil remedies that may be available to him as well.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Jim Jordan said that he reached out to the DOJ to have Durham testify in Congress next week. We'll see if that happens. But, you know, the damage has already been done, like you said. The FBI says that this was a misstep and corrective actions have been taken already, so something like this doesn't happen again. But possibly, as you mentioned, the most significant aspect of this story is that there will probably be no consequences for anyone involved or the media that amplified it. What do you think?
That is a shame. That is the bitter, bitter pill for the American public to swallow. Christopher Wray is a disgrace, and his effort at trying to do preservation of the institution, his effort at damage control of the FBI is an enormous disservice. Does anyone really believe that by passing a few administrative measures or a couple of reforms, that really the people, the conduct, the mindset in the FBI has changed? These are the same people in the same organization, and making a few administrative bureaucratic changes to regulations and rules doesn't fix the serious rot that exists inside the FBI and the Department of Justice.
So did Democrats weaponize the federal government?
Undoubtedly. It's not just Democrats weaponizing the government. You have the modern American equivalent of, Pravda, Izvestia, and TASS, right? The New York Times, the Washington Post, and CNN running a 24/7 media campaign as the public relations arm of the Democratic Party and the Biden administration pumping garbage into the heads of the American public. It's a stream of lies. They've made their careers over this. As you mentioned in the intro, Pulitzer Prizes, different awards, Peabody Awards, news reporting has been perverted and twisted into a campaign of lies trying to destroy President Trump personally and all those persons around him. Folks like General Flynn, an honorable, brilliant intelligence officer who they tried to destroy and just wreck his entire life. You know, where do people like that go 7 years down the line to say, hey, look, you were wrong all along. You lied about me and you made stuff up out of whole cloth. And these people that peddled it night after night, there needs to be an accounting and there needs to be some sense of justice in all of this.
Yeah, yet these Pulitzer Prizes and other awards won will proudly be displayed still. So this investigation took 4 years, cost a lot of money. Was it a waste of taxpayer dollars?
It's frustrating, but it wasn't entirely a waste because we now have an official Department of Justice document approved for release by Attorney General Merrick Garland that lays out in substantial detail the criminality and the misconduct of any number of government officials, both inside the FBI, but also in the intelligence apparatus, people like John Brennan, but also the current sitting president of the United States, who was in meetings as vice president in August 2016 and January 2017, where he knew, he had foreknowledge that the entire Clinton project intelligence was a lie, and that everything that came from that, everything predicated upon that, was an abuse of power, an abuse of the legal system and the intelligence system, and they're walking around with guilty knowledge of it. They can't get away from that, not ever.
Yeah, and amid it all, trust in institutions has further eroded, which is an injustice to the American people. Chris Farrell, Judicial Watch, thanks for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.